I guess the real reason we moved up to Chicago.
He missed me.
No one in Springfield would go see Jexy with me. It's not even the movie we're talking about right now. I like no matter all the changes the channel goes through, at the end of all of it, it'll still come down to just me and you alone talking about some dumb movie.
It's like we went back full circle to Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thor, the one that no one's ever been able to find. Thor was the first Midnight Screenings episode we did.
Yeah.
And it was only like 8 minutes long, because I think there was only 8 minutes on the battery. Because my dumb ass forgot to charge it then. And so you were driving, I was in the passenger seat, like, we went to go see Thor. Can't imagine this turning into a bit for the next however many years we've been doing this in the car. 8? Yeah, something like that? Yeah, because it was 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, the summer of 2011. So I'm keeping an eye on that to make sure it doesn't go blue. See, some things never change. Sometimes I have to look and see if soon, like, those things will be going out. This thing might go blurry. I'm not sure. Let me try to turn in this. There we go. Okay. But I like that you're back on the show now, even though
it's good to be back.
Well, yeah, because you didn't see this movie. I'm the one who saw Addams Family. Yeah, we pulled in. Or you were at 2 tonight. I was at 3 because I was at Addams Family. Before we hit record, you're like, "Do you even remember much about Addams Family?"
Right, because you just went through 3 whole movies, and
yeah, that's kind of normal for me. Though.
And had some alcohol in the meantime.
I had a drink at the. I love how. Oh, it's great when you get out of a bad movie and the first thing that you see walking out is a place called Rock Bottom.
I'm gonna go hit Rock Bottom.
I'm gonna go get a cocktail or something. Rock Bottom walking out of a couple of these. That's not even true. I've seen worse this year than the Addams Family. See, yeah, you missed a lot not being at Addams Family. You missed me playing musical chairs with the audience in there.
What?
Yeah, because I walked in and it's you pick your seats beforehand at this theater. So yeah, I picked my seat and I went in there, and when I got the tickets a few days ago, and I went in there and there was some lady and her kid sitting where I was, but they were the only two with.
Bitch.
Not really. Like, I didn't care. Like, I was like, I should have, like, you know who the fuck I am. You two ain't gonna be talking about this in car on the camera when you get done. No, a couple things. I was like, well, they were the only ones in there, and I didn't really care that much. Like, so, also, they really kind of made a nest for themselves where they were at, like, recliners up, popcorn already everywhere. But maybe it's possible they maybe weren't in my seat, but I was like right next to them, and I'm not going to be collateral damage in that popcorn tornado that was going on over there. I make that myself with my own popcorn messes. So I'm like, all right, fine. So I went and sat just like a row back or so, or a couple of rows back, but it never got crowded in there. But the 4 or 5 people that did show up, I kept being in their seat. Like, so I move back, someone comes in, I think this is ours. Like, oh, yeah, it is. Sorry.
Damn.
Get up, move back. Same thing. Apparently, I'm just great at picking seats. So, same thing happened again with a couple other people coming in. Like,
you should have just told that first lady and her kid to hoof it.
Again, like, by this point, the kid probably crapped in the seat. So, I'm already planning on doing that in my seat. But the last time, dude comes up there with his kid, and I'm like, here we go again. But no, they were like seated next to me. Like, the dad was sitting there, the kid was right next to me, and I go like, okay, fine. So I got up and like moved a seat over. I'm like, Dad, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, when we this awkward, lonely stranger at this kid's movie sitting next. First of all, what are you saying to your kid? Like, sit next to the nice stranger. Honey. He seems legit being at this movie by himself at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now you know what it was like to send me to like Kung Fu Panda and oh God, what else? I think Zookeeper, yes.
The Zookeeper and all of that, yeah.
Oh yeah. Welcome to my hell.
I've been living that hell the last 10 years. I wish you were there at El Coyote last week. Like that, not even a kid's movie, but seriously, bring the whole family to that thing. No, at this movie, I love the 90s ones, the Raul Julia, Barry Sonnenfeld, Addams Family movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, those were all right.
Yeah, I rewatched them again not too long ago because Laura hadn't seen them, and I'm watching them going, these movies still hold up. I mean, I watched those more than I did.
I love that bit in the second one, whenever they're like at the police station trying to tell on Fester's new wife, and he's like, officer, you must do something. Yeah. They live in a large house. They're very happy. Yeah. And what's worse, they drive a Buick.
That stuff's great. Like, I watched that more than I did the television series. I didn't really grow up with the television series. I don't know what
I did.
Well, it was never on, like, or at least any channel that I had, really. It wasn't, I don't remember it being on, coming across it on Nick at Night or anything.
So I grew up around the St. Louis area, and there was actually a local station in St. Louis that played it.
Here, not really.
Really?
Yeah, not really. I didn't see that till I was a little bit older.
Big props to KPLR.
The movies, yeah, totally. And when I was watching the movies again not too long ago, there's some great dark jokes in there. Like when they cook the stripper inside the cake in the second movie.
Oh, yeah.
Was she in there before you baked? And when Joan Cusack says to Raul Julia, oh, you must have been a real lady killer. And he goes, acquitted. Like, he's fantastic in those movies. And I was watching him going, this new movie, they aren't going to be throwing in any kind of things like that. Not. And that's the case.
Right,
like, yeah, it's definitely aimed way more so at really, really, really younger kids.
Of course.
It feels like,
let me ask you something. Yeah. From the trailer, did Thing have eyes?
He's got glasses on, and he's voiced by Snoop Dogg.
Wait, he has a voice too?
No, he still sounds like Thing. Or wait, oh, sorry.
Thing, the hand.
I was thinking Cousin It.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg's Cousin It. No, I didn't notice any hands on Thing or anything like that.
Eyes?
Sorry. I am tired.
Yeah.
I guess it has been
Focus.
It has been a while since I watched this movie.
Focus.
I thought I haven't seen this movie since 4. Is that the talking foot? No, he just looks like he always does in it.
Oh, okay.
It's an 80-minute movie. The movie's short. It comes and goes, and to actually sit there and think, like, what was this movie even about? I was almost hard-pressed to think that while watching it, because it really is kind of one of those movies that's just sort of a series of subplots going on.
Yeah.
You got the stuff with Wednesday Addams going to public school, and Pugsley has this, their equivalent of like a bar mitzvah basically going on with swordplay. He's got his thing going on. The main plot is sort of like a dumbed down Edward Scissorhands, where there's they're surrounded. They're the Addams family that live in their haunted mansion, but then surrounding them is this it doesn't take place in the 50s or 60s, but there is kind of that sort of suburban type thing going on around him. It kind of looks like Stars Hollow a little bit from Gilmore Girls. But it's that going on. And so the woman who's in charge of all of it she's trying so hard to keep everything perfect in the neighborhood to the point to where she hides cameras in everyone's houses to like watch them while they eat and sleep and maybe
Creepy.
other thing and kooky. And and so they want to run the Addams family out of town because it's making the neighborhood look haunted and shit. Once in a while there was a decent laugh in it. When the house keeps saying "get out" when they first move in, as like a Amityville Horror throwback. It's kind of funny how they move in, the house does that. This is not long after they get married. Then it flashes 13 years later and they're still living in there and the house is still telling them to get out. They like feed raw meat to the gate and they're like, oh, the house just hasn't had his coffee this morning, so they put coffee in the toilet. And there would be an okay laugh, like when Wednesday comes in and she's got this unicorn thing in her hair, almost like she's becoming one of the popular girls, sort of. And Morticia's face just goes like red, like she's mad. Like, I can't believe this is what's becoming of my daughter. Her face goes red. This bat comes in out of nowhere to just suck the blood out of her that puts her back to her normal pale color. I would get a light chuckle every now and then, but I'm more so remembering a lot of the groaners in this movie.
Right.
Where Morticia, at one point, they need to cross over this bottomless pit that's in their basement. So all of these spiders come out from under Morticia's dress to create this bridge that they walk over. And then she says, "This is what we call surfing the web." Web, like spiders, you know. And when they have the ceremony for Pugsley towards the end, their relatives come in. Some of the sight gags there are funny. Like one guy walks in dressed as like it's kind of a stereotypical Satan, like and his head is
with
on
the goatee and
yeah.
Nice.
So like us, actually, kind of red suit and everything, and his head's on fire, and he says, "Oh, I hope this party's lit." I can't even get enough energy to really act out these lines. I'm just saying them. You know what? There has to be something in the contract of making a Addams Family movie that every single one of them, even the two Barry Sonnenfeld ones, have to end in an out-of-place rap song over the ending credits. Because that
Addams Family,
they do what they want to do, say what they want to say. This one doesn't. It's not that song in this, but like when it ends, it does it redoes the opening credits of the TV series with the song. That's kind of cute. Then it cuts to the ending credits, and again, it's like, oh yeah, they're crazy Addams Family. Scared for Halloween, y'all. Like, it's like, no, man. What?
Was it at least Snoop Dogg?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, are you not that familiar with Snoop Dogg?
It's the guy from Starsky and Hutch, right? I'm just kidding. I know who Snoop Dogg is, but
I mean, are you not familiar with his music?
Well, they play "Drop It Like It's Hot" in the movie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They play that when Cousin It shows up.
Okay.
But no, I'm not totally well versed in the library of Snoop Dogg, so it could have been him during the ending credits.
I love how you answered like in the most white way ever.
Just to drive my point home. Like.
No, I'm not. That's familiar.
Yeah. I'm not familiar. Snoop Dogg. Is that one of the pound puppies you used to buy you in your youth?
Pound puppies.
You know, when I was watching this, I don't know, man. I was just thinking, it's not, as far as kids movies go, I mean, it's not terrible. It's just, it is what it is. Like, it's 80 minutes. Really not much was put in there as far as the script goes. It felt like, why? It felt like, why am I watching this?
If only you had seen Judy Moody to get
and
like
the Not Bummer Summer.
Yeah, to get a kind of relative scale.
Oh, I saw Ugly Dolls this year. The Pilgrim's Progress, the religious animated movie. I've seen a few this year, and like, this movie's not that. This movie just more so felt like, if you're not gonna try, then I'm not gonna try reviewing it. Like, it's because it just felt like a very assembly line movie.
Right.
It's trying to do this whole thing about diversity and everything, with them being different and trying to, which I know after all the movies and everything is them being weird and all, but that it feels like the movie was maybe just kind of made for something like that, and not much thought was really put into anything else in the film.
So would you go so far as to say it's like pandering? Pandering to the audience?
Yeah, but not... even that I've seen way worse this year with something like The Kitchen. But yeah, I mean, it is, but I mean, also it's the kind of thing you could easily do with the Addams Family. But that just sort of feels like that's kind of all it is to a point, because this movie, like I said, it's over as soon as it starts. There is not much plot in this. Like, the main plot is, again, the like crazy PTA mom trying to control the town. You edited all that together, it is maybe 20 minutes.
Right. That's kind of how I felt about Jexy, which stay tuned for that.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, to wrap this one up, there's not much more I could say about this. Like, it's not, again, it's not... I remember more of the groaning jokes in this, and it is well cast. If you had done the movie, it is well cast.
Really?
Even if you had done this like live action, these are good actors to even play a live action one. Gomez is Oscar Isaac. Charlize Theron is Morticia.
Yeah, why couldn't they have just made that live action?
Yeah, Chloe Moretz is Wednesday. Bette Midler is the grandmother. Allison Janney's the villain.
That would have been... That would have been perfect. That would have been a great live-action movie.
Oh yeah, totally. Like it, and even the voice work and everything is really good in the movie. I'll say that. Like, it looks like that's what they put the most thought into.
Yeah, I was about to say
casting.
Yeah, I was about to say put some makeup and some wigs on these people.
Yeah. This feels like it's just more so in the universe of something like that Dark Shadows movie that came out a couple of years ago, both with Chloe Moretz in it, kind of playing similar characters. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Addams Family. It's not gonna make my worst by any means. I'm really gonna forget that I saw this.
Right.
It's already raining. Like, yeah, they're trying to rain out this review.
It's raining.
So okay, we're gonna take a pause and come back and see us, and we'll be talking about Gemini Man here in a sec.